Okay, so welcome to EDU 608. This is our voluntary session. I'm going to probably offer definitely this one and maybe probably one in a few weeks for the remaining modules. Just this way, just in case people have any questions and they need clarification on the remaining work, they can get it. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and hit screen share. I'm going to go over the Brightspace course site. You're going to see some modules that you see now and some that you'll see in the future. I'll go over the syllabus. I'll talk very briefly about the book and just, again, give you a sneak peek to what's to come up. Catherine's nice enough to join us live, and she will ask any questions she might have. So again, feel free. And after you're done watching, if you have to watch this at a later date, you're more than welcome to email me any questions that you might have after watching the recording. So, okay, so let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay. So this is the Brightspace course. I just entered the course, and to have a really nice kind of like almost like a table of contents view where you see it on the left, you see kind of like the navigation of the site, and on the right, you see actually the content of the course. You can always click um, uh, the content link right here, and you'll be able to see it. You will see that there's a welcome right now that's open. Module one, number one is open. And I believe you could also see rubrics. I think I opened that up because of the discussion forums, so in case you wanted to see how I grade them. So again, this is teaching the digital generation in the globalized age. It's EDU 608. It's kind of like what I call the 30,000 foot view of education in the digital age. We do a lot of project-based learning here. There's some paper writing, but there's a lot of more like writing projects and narratives and doing your own kind of self-reflection, doing some analysis work, and also creating kind of like authentic artifacts that will hopefully assist you in the future as you do research and topics that you like. I'm a big proponent of student and learner agency and empowerment, so I try and get you to do things that are very authentic and relevant to you and your professional position. Um, so the welcome, you start off here with welcome. It's basically just the course description, the learning objectives. And what I've done is I've taken a picture of all the due dates. Sometimes it's just easier to have the due dates here. So you'll see that each module has, most modules have two online discussions that kind of go along with the weeks. I also provide the due dates. So right now we did online discussion number one, which is just basically just a brief introduction of yourselves. And then online discussion number two was just released. That's not due until until the 9th, so 6 more days and stuff. And then there's an assignment that's due at the end of each module. Each module is roughly about 2 weeks in length. I tried to structure this course to where it's very modular. And it's different in each aspect. So I'll give you a little bit of sneak peek in a minute. So that's the welcome section. If you ever need a copy of the syllabus, the digital syllabus, you can always go to the welcome module inside of Brightspace. I also created a help form if you have any questions. If you have a question that's time sensitive or a private matter, this is not the place to share it. But if you have just a general question you want answered, you're more than welcome to. The required text is called A Brief History of the Future of Education. Yes, I am an author. I will, if you think I'm making the big bucks and trying to pawn off my book on you, no, it's not. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm actually trying to provide you with a course text that's very affordable, but also it is talking directly to what we're studying in the course. So I wrote this book thinking of this course in mind. The book is, you can get it digitally, you can get it hardcover, and it's also available on Audible. Yep, thank you very much, Catherine. Excellent. I appreciate it. It's also on Audible if you really like it. If you really like it, I laugh every time I hear it because they mispronounce Tatwadi. and it's like Titawati. It's very weird how they pronounce it. It makes me laugh. So, obviously I did not do the voiceover work, which is thankful because I have a terrible nasally voice. Anyway, so this is anyway, brief history of the future of education. I wrote it right before the pandemic, but I felt very vindicated that all of my ideas, philosophies, all the things that myself and my co-author Ian Jukes wrote about, all of it kind of like was further propelled by the pandemic. Like a lot of things happened during the pandemic, and it just proved a lot of what we talked about in the book to be absolutely correct. And also with the advancements in AI in the last year or so, with the large language models, you can see that also. You can see that working its way into the themes of the book. So you will read all the book. It's not just reading like one or two chapters. It is tailored to this, and it should help out quite a bit with your work. So that's a brief history of future education. I hope you like it. So let me go ahead back to welcome. Okay. So let me go ahead. I did open up a copy of the syllabus. Let me make this bigger so it's very viewable to everybody. I'm not going to go, I can trust that everybody can read this on their own, but I will go over key elements of this. So the course started on the 28th of May and it ends right before the beginning of August. It's July 28th is the official end date. So this course is asynchronous, meaning although we're doing a synchronous session right now, it's mostly held asynchronously, meaning there's no set days and times you have to come online and be available. I release coursework. I usually do announcements on Sunday nights. I typically have released the announcements and stuff like a day early because I'm always nervous that Sunday is such a busy day with the family that somehow I'll get too tired and I won't release it. So I always release it. I release the announcements usually over the weekend, and the start of the module, usually the start of the day is on Monday mornings. So this way you can start to get to work on it. All the modules are 2 weeks long. So you'll have 2 weeks to work on each module. So the main thing, the big themes that you'll be looking at is disruptive innovation. You'll look at the progression of education throughout the last century or so. We'll take a look at modern day learning, and it doesn't matter if you're in K through 12 or higher education. You're going to see a lot of the same themes work their way out in society, inside of our institutions, and a lot of the assignments are also modified to be something that you can work towards. So whether you're in a higher education institution like a college or a community college, or you're working in a daycare center, all of the assignments are kind of tailored to where they're open-ended and they can fit whatever your professional position is. Okay. Let's see. Here are the course learning objectives. I won't bore you to death by reading them. Attendance and participation, you're like, well, this is an online class, give me a break. There is participation aspects. You have to be present in the online discussions. You can't kind of fall off the radar of the course. Even if it's online and you don't have to check in day to day to day, if you're disappearing for 5 to 10 day blocks, you're going to obviously go behind. And since it's such a small class, even if it was a large class, just falling off the radar is not desirable, because then you have to catch up. And also you could leave your other colleagues in the course kind of hanging, because this course is really built on being collaborative in nature. So please make sure that you're present in the course. Even an online course like this, you have to be present. You have to be reading the announcements, doing the work, dedicating parts of your time during the week to actually do the assignments, the readings, watch the videos. I try to create a variety of learning media and learning assignments too. So please make sure you're present. Everybody has participated right now, so I already did my roster verification, so I'm happy to have you all here. Okay, so here is just a general quick little itinerary, a course schedule. As you can see, they're all about 2 weeks long. about 14 days. And I also included the due dates and and the assignments that are due. So the discussions and the assignments and exactly what the names are and stuff. Okay. And again, here's that chart again that I took a screenshot of if you need it. We do have an honor code. I do ask that as you do your work that you place the honor code, just saying that I did not receive any assistance right here. The academic integrity statement. I'll also talk about AI in just a second. We do have. I know that artificial intelligence is a big thing. In fact, I would love for you to explore artificial intelligence in the course. It's one of the really big trends that's really hot right now. There is a research paper that, I'd love for you to study artificial intelligence. If you're going to use some AI for ideation and brainstorming, that's great. You can. But most of the ideas, the big concepts, and ultimately when you create your papers, it should be your work. If you want to structure some sort of like a small bit of your paper to have AI in it, you can absolutely use it as long as you cite the open AI as the source and give the year. There is guidance on how to cite artificial intelligence outputs. If you take a look online, you can go to the Purdue OWL and it'll give you guidance on how to cite AI content. Um, Again, just like I always remember, I always recommend that you use it in small doses because as we know, AI is a fantastic tool. It's very useful. I will say it's not very creative. It does a great job in formatting or organizing content. It comes up with great schemas, but it could not be creative to save its life. And it also is it can be very formulaic in its writing. And, as graduate students, as, people going on to PhDs, it's not the type of crutch you really want to be, leaning on too heavily. So I do use AI, but I don't use it for my writing. I use it for coming up with ideas, helping me create courses. But when it comes to writing books, I don't use it. So or papers. I might get it to scan my work to make sure I'm not making silly mistakes. I'm a big fan of Grammarly. But Grammarly is now starting to expand how it uses AI to where it's actually asking you to rewrite entire paragraphs, which kind of gets into that going beyond just a language mechanics fix to being more of like coming up with ideas. So you have to watch out for that. But I'm still a big fan of Grammarly, and I still pay for it. I think it's great, and I do scan my research papers with it just to make sure I don't get a typo. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of guidance. If you need any disability support, please reach out to the office of the Director of Accessibility and Health Promotion. Let's see. You don't have to worry about the e-portfolio in this course. For the School of Education, please use or check at least daily the Notre Dame email. The reason being is Brightspace, the learning management system, is connected to to Notre Dame's email. So that's how I send messages. Now, if you contact me from an outside like Gmail account or something like that, I'll hit reply and I'll answer you. The issue is that when I send a message, I can send it out to the entire class and you can get it, but it's sent through your Notre Dame account. So please check Notre Dame account at least daily during my course, especially since it's online. Just classroom etiquette, please be respectful. I know this is a lot of language that's really dealing with face-to-face courses. Just be respectful, address people respectfully. I'll make sure that they respect you as well. If there's any concerns, please always reach out to me. Okay. So that's the syllabus. I'm not going to, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So let me go back to Brightspace. So here's Brightspace. As I said, I have module 1 open right now. And what I'll do is I will take you through a tour of the entire course show you what to expect. So if you go to tools and grades, you should be able to see your grades. I'm not going to go in there because of just to respect FERPA and stuff like that. But if you go to tools and grades, you should be able to see your feedback and content there. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. Okay, let me just go into module one, which we were exploring today, and you should continue to explore. So every module has a module plan, and it kind of outlines all of the directions from start to finish. It gives you a course, it gives you a module objectives. It kind of gives you, please read this, please watch this. Here are your reading and resources. Also gives you directions on here are your discussion prompts, and also finally, here's your assignment, here are your directions. Um, Here is the module. It's usually I provide you like a YouTube video. It's they can be anywhere from like 10 to like 20 to 30 minutes long. It's all the content you want. It is aligned with what's in the book, but I go a lot further and add more content than the book. If you can't stand my voice, I also include PDF transcripts with my notes. So this way, if you would rather read it and kind of go over it, or if you want to watch it again, you can. I do provide other supplemental readings. Some of them are older links, but I also incorporated some newer links in there too. Newer resources that are from 2023 or 2024. Clay Christensen and Michael Horn, who wrote a lot about disruptive innovation. They were very big writers in the 2010s. So their stuff is getting a little bit older. I wanted to add a little bit more information about disruptive innovation from a newer perspective. So I did include some links in there to newer stuff. So it's not just old stuff. As you can see, education trends bringing disruption in 2023. And also higher education if you're interested in that. The discussions, to enter the discussion, you just click on the discussion, you read what the prompt says, and you can then hit start a new thread, and you can go ahead and type away. A lot of people ask me, hey, what's the expectations? Is there a word count? Is there a paragraph count? To that, I say no. What you want to do is you want to be able to answer, I would say, like if you almost would write like about a page. Is it kind of like a safe bet to do it? Now, there's going to be some instances where you're going to do something different other than just typing in a discussion form. You're going to do Flip, which I heard is being discontinued in September, but you'll do a flipped discussion, which is a video discussion. I also have a Padlet on here, which is a little bit more, again, it's a little bit more less formal writing, but more of like getting your ideas out and sharing with everybody. To make a discussion, not only do you provide with your prompt, your answer to my first prompt, but you'll also reply to two of your colleagues, which is perfect because now we have two. We have we have three people total, so everybody can reply to everybody else's post. So it's like perfect. And as you can see, I do come in here and I do provide some posts and stuff, and I do try to incorporate and engage with you online. I give feedback in the grades section though, because Brightspace will collate all of your discussions and put them all in one area. I can see everything that you've said. So it makes it easier to provide feedback and grades in that aspect. Okay. So let me go back to content and just I'm going to show you a quick sneak peek. So as you can see, these are all readings. If you click on them, you'll be able to open up. There might be there might be PDFs, there might be web links. You can go visit them. Okay, assignment one. So here's assignment one, which is the tools of disruption. If you click on it, you should be able to see that a lot of my assignments, I include rubrics, templates to help you out, outlines, so you can actually find resources on here. When you're ready to turn it in, you'll click on the assignment section. You should be able to upload your file to here. I can't demonstrate it right now because I'm a teacher, but this is where you would submit your work, and it'll go up there, and then I can give you feedback in here. Okay. Okay, so that's module one, talking about the tools of disruption, which is really looking at different technology tools that might be in the classroom that is really like really engaging learners and changing how education happens. I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot about ChatGPT and language learning models and stuff, and that's absolutely fine with me. So there's module 2, which I'll release in about a week. As you can see, there's an introduction, there's a plan, there's a module plan, there's a presentation. There are links to other resources. Some of them are older, but some of them are also a little bit newer. They talk about Education 1 through Education 3.0. There's an assignment. As you can see, there's a template, there's a rubric, and here's a long, I include a long outline of exactly what to do for the assignment with expectations and all that other stuff. At the bottom, there are discussion prompts and stuff, and as you can see, there's a Padlet here as well. And it's important that everybody is reading the books. Right now, you can't see Module 2. I'll release it next week. Okay. In Module 3, you're going to take a look at future trends that are kind of forecasted by the experts in the field. You'll read a report that's called the Horizon Report, which kind of they say they're not predictive, but they are kind of predictive. They predict about what big trends are going to hit education. It's fairly accurate. It's not bad. It's of course, a lot of it's going to talk. I included the 2023, 2024 reports just in case you would rather see one instead. And I was like, I'm not really happy with the 2024 report. I'd rather do something from 2023. So what you're going to do is read that, and you're actually going to do a paper about it. It'll go into much more detail with it. In fact, I may even include a paper in here as an example. I think it's a really, really, really old paper, but it is an example. So what you'll do is you'll do a paper of that, and again, I outline everything of what you're supposed to do. There is a rubric. If you click on the assignment, you can come in here and actually see a paper rubric right here. It's 6 to 7 pages, including a title and reference pages. I do ask you to use APA. So if you haven't used an APA formatting guide, I suggest this one right here, Concise Guide to APA Style. This is cheaper than the big reference guide. So if you haven't gotten an APA guide yet, I think this thing was like $17. I used it during writing my dissertation and I loved it. It was very easy, quick, answered all my questions, and it was updated. This is from, I think, 2021 or 2022. What year? It was from 2020. So here's the name. It's Concise Guide of APA Style. Again, it's cheaper than the full-blown guide that the APA produced. Remember, 7th edition. Okay. And finally, for Module 4, go back to Module 4. Let me go to Module 4. Teaching new things in new ways. So this is actually looking at TED Talks. So what I get you to do is I get you to research something in education that's big, like you might do artificial intelligence, you might do creativity in education, you might do using video games to teach, you might do virtual reality. You get a big idea. And instead of producing a paper, you're actually going to produce a TED Talk for me. Now, again, I'm not expecting some sort of super Hollywood production. I'm expecting you talking about something that you've studied. And luckily, I've shown some of my favorite TED Talks from the past. You might say they're older, but you know what? They're still really good TED Talks. I'm looking for you to come up with really good content. And as you can see, I talk about the maker movement and project-based learning and artificial intelligence and wearable technology, augmented reality, learning analytics. So there's a lot of new ideas here. And if there's an idea there, if there's an idea you want to talk about that's not on the list, just reach out to me. I'm very flexible because I want you to do something that you're interested. So anyway, think about what your topic might be, and I'll let you do that. And it's about a 5 to 10 minute talk, so it's a quick talk. All right. And before you know it, it's going to be the end of July. So I'm going to hit stop share. And Catherine, since you were nice enough, let me hit. I'm going to hit the stop recording button. So.